Hey guys, Jonah from Shopify SEO. Just quickly, if you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button below or head on over to our free private Facebook group where there's plenty of great discussion going on over there about Shopify SEO. In this video, just want to give a bit of a brief overview of the recent Google Core update, which rolled out in early December. It's probably still rolling out. We're still seeing some fluctuations. There's a lot of chatter going on. So I just want to give a bit of context in some of the sites that we manage and we work on. There's a combination I'm going to show you of some of our own sites and then also client sites without actually showing you what the URL is or what the keywords are ranking for. Just want to show you the graphs and give you my take on it so far. With any core update, it's really too early to tell what sort of signals were affected. Obviously, there's always chatter. People, tend to make assumptions and speculate on what's going on, but it really is too early to tell. So generally, we just like to be patient. There's a lot of SEOs out there, a lot of talented SEOs that are digging deeply to find out what's going on, and normally within a few weeks or a month, we start to get a bit of a consensus or at least a bit of a picture on what sort of signals were affected. I've got my own. From what I'm seeing, just from some of the sites that we're working on, there's at least one signal which I think is reasonably apparent. But I also there's a reason I think the sites that I show you that have been given a boost and have done well. From a Shopify point of view, there's a couple of things that we've been working on over the last 6 months, which I think has really helped them be viewed a little more favorably by Google with this update. But again, it's all just speculation still because we don't really have all the data in. Okay, so this first one here, this site is around, this is one of our own sites. This site is around about 18 months old, so still relatively new. It's been fluctuating a little bit, getting 30 odd clicks per day. There's about 200 products in there with one main product. But you can see here we did around the update time, which is around about this period here. We have seen a nice sort of bump up, and this data is 2 days behind. So we actually had one of our biggest days ever, which is I think the next day that this graph would show, which hasn't actually been updated by a Search Console yet. So getting up around 100 clicks per day, uniques per day, just on organic. So this site has certainly benefited, at least initially. Again, once it continues to and the rollout finishes, we'll see where it ends up. So, and what I mentioned before, one of the things we've been working on heavily in the last 6 months, this site, we've done this too. Okay, now this one, this is interesting. So this one did get hit. Again, this is one of our own sites. This is a very young affiliate site. It's not Shopify, it's on WordPress. So this site is only about 4 months old. And we can see here, my opinion was it was probably overperforming anyway. It's got about 25 articles, not really any off-page. The articles have been optimized quite well, but it was starting to rank for some really good keywords, getting onto sort of page one for keywords that are up around 500 searches a day for a high-ticket item. So it's been whacked. It's lost pretty well all its traffic. But I did notice it's just starting to come back. I think yesterday it got 10 organics. It's not showing on this graph. So and a couple of the positionings are coming back a little bit higher where they were. My opinion on this site is it's obviously it's really young. It was overperforming, so it's actually probably come back to where I would expect it to be. So look, and it wasn't monetized, not generating any revenue yet, so not concerned at all. Like I said, it's just sort of come back to where we want it to. Okay, this site, this is a bit of a larger site. This is a client site. You can see it had been trending up anyway, but it certainly has started to gain a little bit of traction around the time of the update. And again, it's continued on over the last couple of days. So this site I think is about 5-year-old. Again, it had that work done on it that we've been doing the last 6 months, and this is a Shopify store. This site here, where are we? This is a younger site. Well, actually, no, it's not that young, but it hasn't had much work done on it in the until we started working on it from an SEO perspective. So I think it's over 2-year old, the domain. It had been trending up, but certainly it also has had a nice boost, and it's had its largest day yesterday as well. So it got a nice boost here. Again, same type of work that we've been doing on these other Shopify stores. And this one here, actually, I think that's not the one I was going to show you, but I've already showed you that one, but in a different. We've got greater date range on this. What I'm going to do is just pause the video, and I'm going to go find the one I was looking for. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. Again, this site is probably 4 or 5 year old. You can see here we've been working on this site about 3 months now. A couple of months where not much happened, and it's got a nice sort of boost in the last 30 to 40 days. So you could assume this was the work that's been done previously, but it's got a bit of a boost here around about the update. So anytime we have an update where we can hold steady, we're pretty happy. Obviously, if we get a boost, it's a bonus. And then obviously, if we have any pullback, we just want to find out why and then tend to work on it. So that's what we're seeing. So I've shown you, what have I shown you? 1, 2, 3, 4 sites. One was a WordPress site, and the rest are Shopify stores. And I think I've kind of indicated with the Shopify stores at least we saw similar, and we're seeing that with our other sites, Shopify stores we work on as well, pretty well across the board. That's what's happening now. The thing we have done in the last 6 months is really gone a little bit deeper into our technical SEO. So we use Deep Crawl, which you might have seen in other videos, to identify, analyze technical SEO issues, things like simple things like broken links and orphan pages, but also a little bit deeper. We can dive down and find out how sites are being crawled, when there's any spider traps, etc. So we've really been going deep into that, and these sites are pretty clean now. And I'm that, again, speculation, but it makes sense that these sites are clean and are crawlable now in the right way. No small issues like broken links and those sort of things, and I believe that sort of helped it. The other site, the WordPress site, I think it's certainly an age. I've heard a lot of people in groups saying that anything that was doing well that was a little bit younger, sort of under a year old, certainly they've seen pullbacks. So could be related to age. All these Shopify stores are a little older as well. We don't have any real young Shopify stores, so that would be interesting to see what will happen there. Probably the youngest store we've got is that 18-month-old one that we've been working on. So that's my take so far on the December 2020 Google Core update. We did actually have someone in our group the other day mentioned that they've lost a lot of traffic on their Shopify store. I don't know the details of that store yet. We might have a look at that a little bit more in detail later on. But certainly around the net, there's a lot of chatter of people. In any update, if someone loses positions, someone's going to take those positions. So there's always winners and losers. And you get a lot of chatter about if someone's had it, trending up. They like to tell you, of course, which is fine. And then there's a lot of people that are hurting a little bit now, seeing a lot of their traffic disappearing. So, but that's the nature of the beast. We're in here trying to do the best we can with Google. We can't control anything, but what certainly we're trying to do is we just let the update roll out, let it settle, get a bit of feedback from around the net on what people are finding, because some people go deeper into it than others. Sort of correlate that with what we're seeing with our own sites, and then we make a decision on how we're going to make changes from there and try and fix anything that didn't work so well. So, okay, hope that was helpful. Thanks. We'll see you in the next video.